honey.
Alice, it's Monday.
I know that.
Well, then how can you be so cheerful?
Beautiful day, beautiful school, beautiful people, beautiful... Who was that?
Student-teacher supervisor.
You mean she's the one that decides whether or not I've got it to be a teacher?
That's right.
Oh, boy. She looks so tough. She probably won't like my style of teaching.
What's your style?
I don't know yet.
Don't worry. She'll be crazy about you, just like the rest of us.
Well, see you later.
You know, Pete's such a great teacher, it's depressing.
Now, why is it depressing?
Because I'm not even worthy of erasing his blackboards.
Don't underestimate yourself. You haven't even begun yet.
I know, and already I'm scared stiff. Especially after seeing that supervisor.
It's normal to be nervous at first.
Liz, what do you want to be when you're a little girl?
Until the age of 5,
I wanted to be a lady wrestler.
I was very influenced by TV.
You see, I've always wanted to be a teacher. A lot of girls said that, but most of them chickened out.
Chickened out.
Well, you know, they got married or dropped out of ed school. But not me. You know, all this time I've been looking forward to teaching, to being a really great teacher. Now it's here. What if I can't do it?
Has Mary Poppins taken over a class yet?
You mean Alice?
Who else?
Not yet. That comes tomorrow.
Better shape her up pretty fast. The supervisor will be back in a few days to monitor her class.
Well, I've worked it out where she can take over a couple of classes before then. Don't worry. Supervisor will like her. You like her.
I like her. I think she's cute and adorable. Unfortunately, cute and adorable are not exactly the traits one looks for in a school teacher. Pete, let me ask you a question. Do you think she's got it? Let me give you an answer. No.
Alice may surprise you.
That's the kind of thing you say when you can't think of anything else to say.
She's got a lot of desire.
Desire is a highly overestimated trait. Frankly, I've always had a profound desire to be a ski bum. I don't think I'm going to make it.
Well, Alice will make it.
Maybe. But in my opinion, she's going to need two things to succeed. One is a lot of help from you.
And what's the other?
Divine intervention.
I don't think I should teach today.
Why not?
Because my horoscope said I should avoid taking over any new responsibilities.
Do you have a lesson plan?
What if I freeze up?
Oh, they'll thaw you out.
What if I bore them?
They'll yawn.
I've got a headache, Pete.
Well, that's an occupational hazard. You'll be fine.
Well, yesterday, Mr. Dixon and you were discussing the Indian Wars. Now, in 1876, war broke out again, and the most famous of the battles took place on June 25th at Little Bighorn, where Custer made his last stand. Of course, you all know who won that one. Oh. Al.
Why did Custer lose?
Why did Custer lose? That's a very good question. There were a lot of reasons. Primarily too many Indians.
I thought he came there to fight the Indians.
Yes, but he didn't expect so many. After the battle, the Sioux had a shortage of food and ammunition.
Miss Johnson,
What is it?
why didn't he expect so many? Didn't they have scouts?
Not very good ones. So the Sioux...
Didn't he know the Indians met there every year?
And didn't Custer split off from some of his troops? Why'd he do that?
Yeah, Miss Johnson, why?
Yeah, Miss Johnson, why did he do that?
He wanted to go around the back, maybe.
Think you were honest with him?
What do you mean?
A story you told him about Custer losing.
Well, they asked me. I had to tell them something.
What's wrong with I don't know?
Well, I'm supposed to know. That's why I'm there, isn't it?
Haven't met a teacher yet who knew everything.
What if I didn't give them an answer? Wouldn't they feel I wasn't qualified?
How do you think they feel now? Anyway, nobody knows what really happened to Custer.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I was faking and they didn't believe me.
That's right. There's nothing these kids can spot quicker than a phony answer.
No wonder they didn't believe me. And you didn't believe me. I didn't believe me either.
Well, now that you understand, don't worry about it.
But how can you let me get off so easily?
It was a natural mistake.
A natural mistake? I've committed an educational crime. I mean, what if they had believed me? They would have gone through the rest of their lives thinking that they knew the real reason Custer lost. I promise I'll never do it again.
You'll do great in class tomorrow. I'm just sorry I won't be there to see you.
Why not? Why won't you be there to see me?
I have a meeting.
You mean you expect me to go in solo?
Right.
But I'm not ready to face them alone yet.
You'll have to do it sooner or later.
How about later?
Believe me, one day you'll look back on all this and laugh.
Smile, maybe. Laugh, never. All right, everybody, let's calm down. That's better. Richie,
Where's Mr. Dixon?
Mr. Dixon won't be here today.
Oh.
Now, as you recall, we were talking about the Dawes. What is it, Frank?
May I have permission to leave the room?
The period just began.
This is an emergency.
Oh, all right. All right, now, the Dawes Act was supposed to change the policy toward the Indians for the better. Janet and Debbie. Janet, Debbie, would you please stop talking? Thank you. Yes, Bob.
Could I open a window?
Oh, all right. Now, the Dawes Act broke up.
You better watch your clown.
Please, Bob, I'm trying to teach a class.
Me, it was him. He's nuts. Oh, God.
Wait a minute, now where do you two think you're going?
We gotta go to the library and check something out.
What?
The new librarian.
Wait a minute! Now stop that! Wait a minute! Come back here! Now listen! Now, come on, now we gotta keep this down. Now stop throwing those papers! Stop it! Now listen!
Liz. Hello.
Hello.
Liz, will you get me slide number 14, please? I've had a few complaints about our new sex education course. I want to see what all the fuss is about. Don't you have a class this period?
Alice is taking it.
No, boy. Live and learn. You know, it's against the rules for a student teacher to take over a class alone.
You know that's the only way she's going to learn.
One time somebody left a student teacher alone and she completely disappeared. We asked all the students what happened. Nobody would talk.
I don't think that'll happen to Alice.
No, I guess you're right. In her case, the class will probably disappear.
The basic idea was to divide up the land in the reservations. Bernie, was that you?
I'm clean. You want to look? Told you. Oh.
What is it?
I gotta go to the nurse. Don't believe him. He's always getting sick.
Look, can't it wait till the end of the period?
Sure, but you'll always have me on your conscience. Cause of death, Miss Johnson.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, the brown is home. Like, good. What time are you going?
Janet and Debbie. All right, now, the basic problem was, Frank, where did you get my keys? May I have them back, please? Jason, please give me my keys back. Please, may I have my keys? Please? Frank, give me my keys back, please. Please? Jason, may I have my keys? Give me back my keys. May I have them? Thank you. I'll see you all tomorrow. I hope we get a lot more done.
Well, how'd it go? Alice, what's wrong?
Now, the Summerhill theory is that children basically
Want to learn.
It's obvious he never taught at Whitman.
That's an interesting theory.
Well. Another meeting of the Student Teachers Association. You kids wouldn't be planning to take over the school, would you?
No, sir.
Too bad. Anytime you want to take over, just ask.
We're having enough trouble just learning how to teach.
No false modesty. I understand you're doing very well. I only wish that when I was starting to teach, I knew as much as you kids do.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Oh, my. This reminds me of when I was a student teacher. Before I'm overcome by a wave of nostalgia, I'll move on.
Wow, you must be doing something right. How'd you do it?
Well, I got a groovy bunch of kids.
Me too.
How are your students, Alice?
They're wonderful.
Boy, you don't know how fortunate you are. My group would have terrified Attila the Hun.
What happened?
Well, they really got out of hand until I showed them who's boss.
How?
First of all, I practiced thinking tough. You're only as tough as you think.
It's power of negative thinking.
Oh, go ahead and laugh, but the enemy can sense it if you're weak.
The enemy?
Well, let's face it, that's what they are.
What are your tactics, General?
Meet force with force. Threaten to suspend them. Scream, whatever's necessary.
But don't they hate you?
They act like they do. But underneath, they really loved me.
You notice she psychoanalyzed the entire class?
Children are crying for limits. They may object, but they really want them.
These kids are only a few years younger than we are.
Wait until you get in a situation where it's them or you, and see what you do.
Now, when they didn't find gold, they changed the signs to Pikes Peak and Busted. All right, let's hold it down, everybody. I said be quiet! All right. Now, let's get one thing straight. There's not going to be any more messing around in this class. You're looking at the new Miss Johnson. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Did you hear me, Bob?
Yeah.
What?
Yes, sir.
What do you want?
Can I please?
No, you can't. Now.
It was an accident.
One more accident, young man, and you're in big trouble. Now, back to business. Another gold strike was discovered.
I didn't do it.
Get your things together.
It's a frame-up.
Yes.
It wasn't his fault.
You want to be the next to go?
What are you doing in here?
Miss Johnson sentenced me.
Well, she must have had a reason.
Well, it's like that Bogart picture on TV last night. He never killed nobody, but he kept getting blamed.
You didn't kill anybody?
No.
Good.
But I'm innocent! I'm innocent, I tell you! Give me a mouthpiece!
Bob?
I'm sorry.
Hi, Mr. Dixon.
Eyes straight ahead. All right, time's up. Pass your paper to the person in front of you without talking. Good. Now, will the people in the front of the row please bring me the papers? All right. We have a little time. Let's talk about one of the most exciting bunch of people in our history, the cowboys. Now, after the Civil War, the cattle drive came into existence. Who can tell me why? They wanted to make more money by selling beef to the people in the East. Now, to accomplish that, they had to do what? They had to drive the cattle to the railroads. And a whole new group of towns became important. Who can tell me what some of those were? Mary Ann. Bob? Richie. You may go. Class dismissed.
May I have permission to speak?
Oh, come on, Pete. Did you see the difference?
Did you?
They really respected me this time.
That depends on your definition of respect.
But they were quiet.
Sure, you made them afraid to speak. What'd you send Bernie out for?
He dropped a book.
Sit down, Alice. You start sending kids to the VP's office for things like dropping books, you're not going to have anyone left to teach.
But the supervisor's coming tomorrow, and I've got to be in control.
This isn't Folsom Prison. If you're teaching right, you'll be in control.
Pete, why are you so mad at me?
Because I care about you becoming a teacher, and you're not going to get there with these easy cop-outs. You want your students to have some respect for you, then you'll have to start having respect for them.
I was having a really tough time until all of a sudden it came to me. Just the perfect solution.
What?
How do I quit?
Alice, you always make me feel like there's a whole mess of stuff I just missed.
Oh, look, I don't have to teach. I mean, there are a whole lot of other things I could do. Like, well, I could be a topless waitress.
Hey, what happened?
Of course, with my luck, I'll probably catch cold on the first day.
Alice, no jokes, okay? Now, what happened to the girl who wanted to be a teacher all her life? Is she chickening out?
Yes. Look, Liz, I'm just no good. I can't deal with people. Maybe I can still get into social work.
What does Pete say about all this?
Well, he said I was treating the kids unfair. But all I wanted to do was to keep those kids quiet.
Well, do you think he was right?
Of course. Pete's always right. Oh, I just don't have it.
Stand up. I'm the class. Teach me.
Oh, Liz, I mean, you can't be serious.
Hey, are you free after fifth period? Well, I was going down to the record shop.
Liz, what are you doing?
You gonna let me get away with this in your class?
Oh.
You are free after fifth period? Too much! Hey, why
Would
don't
you
we
please stop talking?
and go by my house? I bought this new see-through dress.
See, nobody ever listens to me.
Well, why should I? You sound like you don't want to offend me.
Liz, how do you know if you're interested in what I'm saying if you don't listen to me?
Okay. Now you're getting through to me. Keep going.
Okay. We were talking about the westward movement and the origins of cities like Abilene and Laramie and Dodge City. Now, these places were called cow towns. Can you tell me why?
Must have been a lot of cows hanging around there.
Well, yeah, that's true. But why?
Must have been some bulls, too, I guess.
Well, yeah, there were. But that's not the real reason. You see, these towns were at the end of the cattle trails where the cattle were picked up to be sent back east. And they weren't sent back east to go to school either. So get it on, kid.
Get it on?
Well, I just thought I'd throw that in.
That's very good. Even though I was wrong, you taught me, you encouraged me, and you made me laugh. That is a great combination.
Really?
Really. Listen, you're going to make a lot of mistakes. Everybody does. So accept it. Alice, you got a lot of things going for you. You're bright. You care about the kids. Now, don't be afraid to show them, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Now, go home and get some sleep. And tomorrow, you go in there and you do your thing.
Yeah. But Liz, I'm just so afraid I'm going to mess up.
Don't worry. You won't mess up. Just be yourself.
Sedalia, Chisholm, Western, and Goodnight Loving. Now, what do these 4 names mean? Come on. Somebody must know. Bernie.
I was just scratching my back.
Helen.
They were cattle trails.
Cattle trails, right. Good. What is it, Frank?
Why did they call it the Goodnight Loving Trail?
Well, possibly because it was very romantic.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm not sure. But if you're really interested, there are a lot of good books in the library. I'll see you after class, okay?
Okay.
Now, the greatest problem with the cattle drives was that the steers lost so much weight. What do you want?
Who, me? I was just scratching.
Bernie, do you have a dog at home?
Yeah, why?
Well, it might be a good idea if you borrowed his flea collar. Well, now, anyhow, the cattlemen found that their steers could live on the plains and have the whole place to themselves until something happened. Fred.
The homesteaders moved in.
Right.
And they didn't get along with the cattlemen.
Very good. Now, anybody else? Richie.
Well, that's because the cows kept running over the farmers' crops. But the farmers eventually won.
Why?
I forget.
Come on, anybody know? What about the invention of barbed wire?
Right. Right again, Miss Johnson.
Now, even with the invention of barbed wire, the farmer's life wasn't easy. Jason, get your foot down. Jason. Now, there were droughts in the summer and storms in the winter.
Heavy teacher, huh?
And on top of that, the grasshoppers came along and ate everything in sight. Who knows?
Well, what's the verdict?
Well, she was a little nervous, but I think she'll make it.
So the government opened up the Oklahoma Territory for settlement.
And boy, was there a stampede of people.
Fantastic! Who can add to that? Richie?
Well, within a couple of hours, they grabbed almost all the land.
Right, but now why did the government open up the Oklahoma Territory?
Because the settlers needed more land.
You mean, in other words, this was a good thing?
It sure was.
Was it? Who did they take the land from?
They took it from the Indians.
Right. Now, Frank, can you answer that? The Sioux, right. Anybody else?
It's a modern miracle. Where is she now?
I left you in class.
Mr. Kaufman! Mr. Kaufman, guess what?
You decided to become a nun.
No, I passed. Of course, I couldn't have done it without Pete and Liz, especially Pete. Oh, no offense, Liz.
Alice, you did it all by yourself.
Yes, but I couldn't have done it without your help.
Oh, come on, Alice.
And Liz, that night at your apartment when I almost quit.
Alice, Pete, tell her.
Alice Johnson, you did it all by yourself. You, right?
Right.
school. I'm matriculated at the School of Hard Knocks. You lay that job on me, baby. You'll see how good I am.
No high school diploma.
When do I get to see the boss man?
Well, why don't you sit right over there?
How soon do you expect him back?
2 weeks.
Hi.
Hi.
I've come about that ad in the paper. I'm Howard Brilliant.
Won't you sit down, please?
Thank you.
Boo!
High school diploma?
Of course.
Well, you can go right in. The boss will see you right now.
Hey, baby, I thought you said he was real gone.
If you want to get in, stay in school.
Don't drop out.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Mr. Granger, thank you very much. Well, I've only got one question for Mr. Granger. Are those your clothes or your son's? Well, I think we can all agree that this Thursday's assembly is going to be the best stay-in-school assembly we've ever had. Any problems? Any questions?
Well, I hate to be the one to put a damper on things because I realize how much work went into this. It's a very funny skit, but what's it going to accomplish? Well, the kids will laugh, sure, but do you really think we're going to reach them? Is it going to make one of them change their minds about dropping out of school?
Well, what would you suggest?
I don't have any ideas, but we've got to come up with something that's going to impress them.
Hey, I just thought of someone the kids would listen to. Someone they all know and respect.
Sorry, did it last year.
Someone who went to Whitman, like Michelle Scott. Oh, who is she?
Oh, you know, you're a groove, but I gotta move.
I think you got the right idea, but the wrong person. I saw Michelle Scott on TV the other night, making jokes about the fact that she dropped out.
Well, that lets her out.
No, not necessarily. I saw that too. I bet she jokes about it because she feels insecure. I'm sure if she spoke to the kids, they'd listen to her.
Well, okay, get her if you can. Still seems a little like getting Tiny Tim for a good grooming assembly.
I did it. I did it.
Did what?
Michelle Scott.
You got her for the assembly?
No, I got an appointment to see her. Well, you know, she's not exactly the easiest person in the world to see. I had to talk to 3 agents, 2 managers, and 6 secretaries.
If she ever gets laryngitis, unemployment in the country will go on.
I never met a big celebrity before. Will you laugh if I tell you something? I'm nervous.
Oh, you'll be just fine. Just treat her like any other dropout.
That's right. Just don't blow it by asking for her autograph.
If you think this is so easy, why don't you go along with me?
Not me.
Don't tell me you're not interested in meeting a beautiful girl.
She is very pretty.
And with a little of that Pete Dixon charm, she'll just have to go along.
I thought he'd never say yes.
I didn't.
You know, they ran out of toast, but this is very interesting. Chipped beef on bagels. Must be a great favorite in the Israeli army.
You sure it's all right?
Well, she's kept us waiting for 45 minutes. If it isn't, I'll give her $1 an hour.
You're pretty good.
Well, a lot of my early education took place with cue in hand. Here, try it.
I don't know what to do.
You uptown girls sure live sheltered lives.
Well, that's the way it is in the big old house with all those employees running around. Hello? Sorry I can't talk to you now. I'm on 4 of the line. Hello? I didn't know there was anybody on this line. I guess you want to speak to... Oh, hello, Miss Scott. This is Liz McIntyre from Walt Whitman. Yeah, I had an appointment with you. No, I can still make it. As a matter of fact, I already made it. I'm here right now. I'm in your pool hall room.
Tell her she's kept us waiting for 45 minutes.
No, we haven't been waiting long. Okay, thank you. She'll be right down.
Don't count on it.
She said she'd be right down.
What do you want to bet?
$10? You're Liz McIntyre.
Pete Dixon.
You know, I thought you'd be a couple of kids from the school paper. Come on in, have a seat. Can I get you some coffee? A drink?
No, thank you.
No, thanks.
Whitman High. You know, it's been a long time. Is Mr. Kaufman still the principal?
And still the most unconvincing grouch in town. Okay, Whitman, what can I do for you? Well, we want you to help us with our dropout program. Sure. I'll have my business manager send a check. But we don't want money. We want you to come to an assembly and tell the kids not to drop out. No, that's not the kind of thing I do. Besides, why would the kids listen to me? I was a dropout myself.
I'm proud of it.
Now, what's that supposed to mean?
It means I saw you on TV the other night when you said you didn't need school to make it. I figure a lot of kids saw it, too.
That's it, Pete. Sure. Okay, I'll tell you what. Maybe in about 6 weeks I can cancel something and do it.
The assembly's on Thursday.
Well, I'm glad you didn't wait till the last minute.
Look, I'm not trying to put you down, but I figure it'll give you a chance to make up for all the damage you did on TV.
What does he do when he's trying to put you down? Well, you know,
Why cancel something in 6 weeks when you can cancel it on Thursday?
Now, there's a thought for you.
You gonna be there?
I'm gonna be there. Me too.
I really dug your last album. It was really too much. The way you and the band were wailing together. You know I have my own group.
No, I didn't know that.
Hey, Richie.
Later, man. I'm here busy talking to Michelle Scott.
You know, it's like I never left. I keep expecting somebody to stop me and ask me for a hall pass.
After you.
Hello.
Hi.
Well, here she is, Mr. Dixon. Told you we'd deliver her safe and sound.
Thank you, Richie. Jason?
It was nice meeting you.
Thank you, Richie.
You sing just fine.
Well, thank you. I still don't believe you talked me into this.
I'm a little surprised myself.
Michelle.
Yes.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, I'd better go see that everything's all set up for the assembly. I'll see you later.
Okay. Come in. Come in. Good to see you.
You never said that when I used to come in here.
Have a seat, please.
Mr. Kaufman, you know you haven't changed a bit.
Oh, a few gray hairs on my comb every morning. Little coffee?
Black, please. We had some interesting talks in here, didn't we?
That's right. You filled out quite a bit, haven't you?
Actually, I've lost weight. I was sort of a chubby kid.
I see. Michelle, I have a confession to make. You know, thousands of kids have marched through this office over the years. I really can't remember all of them. But if it makes you feel any better, I pretend I knew you quite well since you became famous. I subtly drop your name when there are other principals around. Burke over at Fillmore High uses Ephraim Zimbalist Jr.
Well, I'll bet he never gave Mr. Burke the trouble I gave you.
Well, those federal agents rarely present a discipline problem.
Well, I can't picture him in detention like I was all the time.
Neither can I.
You know, if you'd had more teachers here like Pete Dixon, I might never have dropped out.
You've never seen Pete teach a class? Oh. You know, we're very grateful to you for taking this time. I wish there was something we could do for you.
Well, I just hope it works.
Oh, I'm sure. It's getting a bit late. We better get over to the assembly. They're about to start.
You know, there is one thing you can do for me.
Name it?
Are there any girls in detention now?
Undoubtedly.
Spring 'em.
Okay.
Oh, well, we can fill this out together then.
Together.
Would you like to sit down?
Thank you. Go.
I think we got a hit on our hands. They love it. Hey, I'm sorry, the seat's taken.
I was hoping.
Hey, where is Pete anyway?
High school diploma.
I'm a
Hello. How's it going?
You're the guy who set me up for this.
Mr. Kaufman's going to introduce you right after this skit.
I got a great introduction for him. And now Michelle Scott will faint for you.
Oh, come on. Don't tell me you're nervous.
Nervous? I'm paralyzed. I got to stand up there in front of 2,000 kids, and I'm not going to be singing. I'm going to be making a speech.
Well, don't make a speech. Just talk to them.
Bring them on one at a time, and I'll talk to them. 2,000 at once? That's a speech.
Michelle, you don't have to be perfect. Those kids dig you. It'll mean a lot to them to know that you thought enough to even come and talk to them. I don't think the words are going to make that much difference.
If you want to get in, stay in school. Don't drop out.
Thank you very much for that very funny Stay in School skit. And now we come to the highlight of our program. We have with us today a former student who spent a lot of time in my office, but not because she was on the honor roll. From Walt Whitman, she went on to an illustrious career as one of the most popular singing stars in the country.
They'll love you. Go talk to them.
Walt Whitman proudly presents Michelle Scott.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm, just a little nervous. No, that's wrong. I'm really very nervous. I guess maybe you think that's strange. For somebody who's played Vegas. But, you see, I made it in Vegas, and I didn't make it at Walt Whitman High. I quit. I spent more time at Harry's store drinking soda pop than I did in class. Of course, then, that's the way we turned on in my day. Where you been?
Michelle was a little uptight and I had to give her a little support.
But I was very lucky. There must be, 100 singers with as much talent as I had. Well, maybe 5. But I got the big break. I was in the right place at the right time. Now I have a lot of money, and I know some of the smartest people in the country. But more often than I'd like to admit, I don't know what they're talking about. Mr. Dixon was on me for making jokes on TV about dropping out. Would you like to know why I joke about it? It's because I'm ashamed. Don't you miss it. Stay.
You're sensational, Miss Scott, but then you always are. You know, I remember when you were with the Bluesettes and you just went shooby-doo-bop-doo-ah.
Hey, you really are a fan.
We really appreciate you taking the time to come out today.
Can I get a shot of you for the blue and gold, Miss Scott?
Sure.
I enjoyed this. I really did. I'd like to know if I can do more.
Well, we'll take whatever time you can offer us. You were beautiful out there today.
Thank you.
Okay.
One more picture, okay?
Sure, but this one has to be with my friend here.
Teacher's Lounge, Alice Johnson. Oh, hi, Miss Scott. Oh, I'd recognize your voice anywhere. Pete? Oh, yeah, he's here. Hold on. Pete, for you.
Hello? Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
It's Michelle Scott.
Shooby-doo-wop-doo-wop.
Isn't it great, the interest she's taking in this dropout program?
It's wonderful. Just wonderful.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea. Lunch? Let's see, I got about an hour. Sure, steak would be fine.
Not to change the subject.
We don't have a subject.
That was Michelle Scott.
We got us a subject.
She's got some ideas about the dropout program. Would you like to go over with me?
No, I got some work to do.
Okay, well, I'll see you later.
Bon appetit.
Gee, I wish she would have asked me. How come you didn't go?
Because Pete's social life is Pete's own business.
Social life? You're acting like he could be romantically involved. Hey. Under the circumstances, you were really cool.
If I'd accepted, it would have been the worst thing I could do. I hope.
Listen, I'm not much of a substitute. But how about having lunch with me?
Okay. But let's not go to the cafeteria, all right?
Okay. Where do you want to go?
Michelle Scott's.
Pete?
Oh, hi.
This is your free period, isn't it?
That's right.
Good. I checked the board. They had you down for free period. Pete, I'm enormously uncomfortable.
Well, why don't you sit down?
No, that won't make me comfortable. Pete, how do you feel about people butting into your business?
I don't much like it.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Alice, is something you want to talk to me about?
I want to butt into your business.
Well, if you're waiting for permission, I don't think I'm going to give it to you.
Well, will you at least promise you won't tell Liz? Okay?
Okay.
You know, Pete, you're not insensitive.
Well, thank you.
So how come you're being so insensitive to Liz?
Alice, I think I'd feel a lot better if you just say what you want to.
Well, I was talking to Liz after you flew off for your fancy lunch with Michelle Scott. You know how Liz feels about this? Well, I'll tell you how she feels. Miserable. There, I said it. So long.
Goodbye.
You know, there are just some things that need saying. And I'm glad I said it.
Look, honey, can I ask you something?
Go ahead.
I've been seeing a lot of Michelle lately. Does it bother you?
What do you mean? Do I have trouble sleeping? Do I worry a lot? Does my stomach get funny? Yeah, it bothers me.
Look, I'm just seeing her about the dropout program, that's all. You want me to start?
No. Oh, I feel ridiculous.
Look, we have a lot going, right?
Right.
And we trust each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just hang loose.
Okay. Hey, you didn't forget we're supposed to be in the cafeteria tonight to supervise the decorating for the dance, did you?
This is your first chance to hang loose. I've got to go to Michelle's. She's having some people that I got to meet, so I'll be a little late. All right?
Miss McIntyre, where's Mr. Dixon? I thought he was going to be here.
Richie, don't you have something to do?
What did I say wrong?
Don't pay any attention to him.
Alice, what are you doing?
Nothing. Why is everyone so concerned where Pete is?
He said he would be late, and he's late.
That's what I mean. He's late.
Exactly. Sure is late.
I realize the position you're in.
I'm glad you do.
Yeah, but it's very difficult.
Well, it's...
Oh, wait
these are
a minute. Listen, just a second.
Okay.
Explain to you what the problem is.
Okay, Dixon. I'll train some of your dropouts. We'll start with 20 and see how it works out.
That's good, but not good enough. You see, most kids drop out of school because they can't afford to stay there. And I want your company to give them the chance to work and stay in school at the same time. Look, you'd benefit. A kid with a high school diploma is worth a lot more than one without it, right?
Pete, you have made your point. You have won. You have got it. Michelle, does this friend of yours always get what he wants?
He seems to.
So does she.
Oh, hey, look who's here. It's Mr. Kaufman. Hi, Mr. Kaufman.
Hello.
Gee, we didn't expect to see you here.
I was just passing by to pick up some papers and saw the light. It's a little late to be decorating, isn't it?
Late? No, it's early. Well, probably be here for hours. We're just about finished.
You know, it's amazing. You take some dime store decorations, put them in a certain arrangement, light them well, and they look like well-lit dime store decorations.
Good night,
Pete,
gentlemen.
glad we were able to get together on this one.
Good night.
We'll talk to you later.
Right on.
Good night, Michelle.
Good night.
Well, we did it.
You did it. I just arranged it.
Well, let's not argue over Billy. Michelle, thanks a lot.
Sit down, Teach. You know, you can't eat and run until you've eaten. Beef stroganoff.
Smells great, but I really got...
Russian soul food. And I made it just for you. Besides, I'm not exactly the type to play the poor little rich girl. And I don't like to eat alone.
Well, you can't feel too bad about somebody not showing up for a decorating detail, can you? I have a whole list of things you can't feel too bad about, and not showing up for a decorating detail is right on it.
You're right. It's a dumb thing to feel bad about.
Oh, no. It's all right to feel bad about it. You just have a different list than I do.
Thanks.
You're almost finished. What are you going to do?
Go on home.
Tell you what. Just made out my monthly budget. I got 30 cents left over. Why don't we blow it on some coffee together?
No, thanks. I really think I'll go on home. Good night.
Night.
What are you going to do with your 30 cents?
Oh, probably make a little whoopee.
Well, it is a little hokey, isn't it? Tell me, Pete, what is there about me that turns you off?
Nothing.
Well, then why aren't you coming on?
I've asked myself that same question.
Well, do me a favor. When you come up with the answer, save it, because I don't want to hear it. I don't really mean that. Give me the answer.
You met her. Hello.
Hi.
You got any coffee?
I was just having some myself. Come in.
Well, we got 20 kids for the dropout program.
That's great.
It's a start. How'd the decorating for the dance go?
Just fine.
Hey, you guys.
Oh, hi, Alice.
Hi.
Something we can do for you?
Oh, no, not a thing. I just wanted to say it's good seeing you. Well, good seeing you.
Oh, hello, Mr. Kaufman.
Hello. We missed you two at the Sweethearts Ball.
Oh, we had something to do at the last minute.
That's why we had Mr. Jenkins and Miss Marsh cover for us.
You had something to do?
Right.
The two of you?
Right.
Together?
Right.
That's fine. That's fine. my partner about a mile west of it.
That makes a lot of sense.
Oh, it's my doctor. He says I need the exercise. You ought to see him. He offered his body to science. They turned him down.
I think the walking will do you good anyway.
Listen, I figure if the good Lord had wanted principals to walk, he wouldn't have given them reserved parking spaces. Hey, you have a qualification to teach English, don't you?
Right. Oh, you plan on giving me a course next semester?
Why wait that long? You know Mrs. Lanahan?
Lanahan. Oh, the older lady.
When she started teaching remedial reading, she was referred to as the younger lady. She's a nice person, but it's just not working out.
What's the problem?
Well, she's got a very difficult group there. I mean, those kids are so far behind in their reading, they think school's a four-letter word.
I've had kids like that in some of my classes.
They're just killing time, waiting to go out into a world that they're totally unprepared for. So, don't you just sit in on her class today and look the situation over?
Sure. But why me?
Well, you're an understanding person, you're an excellent teacher. And you're the biggest one available.
Mrs. Lanahan need a bodyguard?
All right. Who wants to start us off by reading today? Bob?
Me? You want me to read?
Page 16.
I forgot my book.
Well, here, you can use mine.
Oh, well, thanks a lot, pal.
We're waiting, Bob.
You want me to read this story here, this dumb-looking turkey on it?
That turkey's probably a lot smarter than us. He ain't sitting in this class.
Tony, if you continue making jokes, you'll get a poor grade for the day.
Oh, gee.
Proceed, Bob.
A Christmas turkey. My uncle's present came in a big sack, and it was
Hilarious.
hilarious.
Tony.
Huh? What?
Hey, if I'm boring you, man, just let me know.
You're boring me.
Yeah, I couldn't think of it. I'm bored myself. You better get somebody else to teach.
Michael?
Let me have my book with you.
I'm just getting interested. What?
My uncle's present came in a big sack, and it was hilarious to see it wiggling. When we opened it, you'll never guess what was inside.
A girl.
A turkey.
Come on, man. Hurry up and get to the sexy part.
One more remark and you'll be sent to Mr. Kaufman's office. Just because you're not trying, you mustn't stop other people. Continue, Michael.
We decided to name him Gobbler. Gobbler.
Hey, he's pretty good, isn't he? Yeah, he can't read. He's just making it up as he goes along.
You see, Alice, most of these kids have given up trying to read.
They start falling behind in the first or second grade. Then they lose interest. Every year they fall further and further behind.
Well, why don't the teachers do something to help?
You can't expect the teachers to give the kids individual attention in classes that are too big anyway.
Besides, the system says everyone has to keep going on from grade to grade regardless of ability. Anyone who reaches age 16 has to go on to high school whether he's ready or not.
Well, that makes school like a factory assembly line.
It wouldn't be so bad if they weren't capable of so much more.
Yeah, some of those kids could be at least average students, and some of them well above average.
Pete. Hello, everyone.
Hi, Mr. Kaufman. Hey, aren't you going to have lunch with us today?
I'd love to, but my doctor says I've got to have salad for lunch 2 days a week. I can't stand to watch people eating solid food. Would you take a look at that class?
Yes.
Gonna take it?
I'll take it.
Great. Oh, will you come by my office after school?
Why? You want to talk about that class some more?
No, I want you to give me a lift to my car.
I think it's wonderful you're taking over the class, Pete.
I'd think it was wonderful, too, if I knew what I was going to do with it. One thing for certain, grades don't matter to them.
Well, can't their parents help?
These kids are from poor families,
Most of the parents don't do much reading themselves.
which will make it even tougher to motivate those kids.
Aw, I'm sure you'll inspire him, Pete.
What do you think's prettier? Our old teacher or the new one?
You want to repeat what was so funny, Tony?
No.
Well, since you're so anxious to talk, why don't you read for us?
If I could read, I wouldn't be here.
Go on and give him an F, Teach.
Yeah, well, you don't want to spoil my perfect record.
Tony, by the end of the semester, you're going to be reading.
You want to bet?
Mm-hmm. Bob, read the paragraph at the top of page 18.
I forgot my glasses.
The only glasses you got is the one your old man drinks his booze out of.
You read it.
I don't want to read it.
What's the matter? Too tough for you?
No. I can read it if I want to. I don't want to.
If I give you an A, will you read it?
You could give me an X, 2 Q's, and a Z if you want. I don't care nothing about those letters, man.
If I give you this, will you read it?
You'll pay me?
If you read. Page 18.
The dance. It was a
Thursday.
Thursday, and Fred didn't have a date.
Fred
didn't have a date for the big school dance. He
wondered.
This is a lousy story.
Read it, Jack. He wondered if
He wondered if he would ever find enough
courage.
Courage to ask Linda. She was the prettiest and the most popular girl in his English class.
He can't read. That ain't worth no 50 cents.
You shut up.
Shut up.
Then he was
Surprised.
surprised to see her smiling at him.
It's good, Jack.
It's mine?
It's yours.
$1 even.
Oh, Liz, can I borrow $1? Thank you.
Thank you.
My mother warned me about guys like you.
Well, I had an unexpected expense.
Hi, Pete.
Hi, Alice. How are you?
How'd the reading class go today?
Oh, very well.
You mean you actually got those kids to read for you?
Sure. As a matter of fact, they were fighting for a chance to read.
What'd you use, hypnosis?
I told you he would do it.
What'd you say to him?
Nothing special.
Come on, Pete. Don't be so modest.
Tell us the secret.
I paid them.
Why'd you do that, Pete?
Because they wouldn't respond to anything else. I just wanted to see if the money would work.
So it worked. So what do you do for an encore?
Well, I don't know yet.
Are you going to continue to pay them?
Not on a teacher's salary. But I gotta find some way to keep it going.
Why don't you start printing up your own money?
Oh, sure. Open my own mint and turn out Walt Whitman dollars, right?
Hey, that's a terrific idea. Look, we can use the print shop and put Mr. Kaufman's picture on the front. It's just a thought.
It wouldn't work, Alice. Those kids are not gonna go for money that isn't worth anything.
Well, what if we could redeem it for something they could use?
Like real money. Look, anything that's worth something costs money.
Unless you make it yourself. Pete, do you think those kids would value the money if it could buy, homemade cakes?
I'm not sure. But it might be worth a try.
We can get Jason to design the plates for the money. Now, how do you want Mr. Kaufman's picture? Full face or profile?
Knowing Jason, I would not use Mr. Kaufman. See what kind of job he can do on Walt Whitman.
Last period, a student asked me for $50 to do his assignment.
Well, can't blame him for trying.
I asked him where he got the idea, and he told me Mr. Dixon paid him to do his work.
Pete Dixon, are you sure?
I checked the story before coming to you.
Now, look, Mrs. Lund, Pete Dixon is one of our finest teachers. He's really dedicated to doing the best job that he can. Now, if he paid a student to do schoolwork, he paid a student?
Yes.
Well, I'm sure that if he paid a student to do schoolwork, he must have had a perfectly valid reason for doing it.
What reason?
Well, frankly, I can't think of one.
Start, Mr. Dixon?
Well, let's wait until the bell rings.
You call on me twice a day? You see, I'm trying to save up enough money to get the new Beatles album.
Chocolate cake? Donuts? Can we watch?
I think you burned that bright.
How about me? I'm ready. How about you, Mr. Dixon? I'm ready. Try me.
Hey, you didn't call me yesterday.
I want to talk to you before we start reading. From now on, I'm going to be paying you with these. Walt Whitman $10 bills.
Can I see one of those?
Sure.
Whose picture is that?
Walt Whitman's.
You mean you're not going to pay us with real money anymore?
If I did, I'd be bankrupt.
What are we supposed to do with that funny money?
Here's how it operates. You get paid according to how much and how well you work. Reading in class can be worth $20. A homework assignment, $40. And a book report can earn up to $75.
Yeah, and we can use it for wallpaper.
If you want. But there are other uses for your Whitman dollars. Like this. The Miss McIntyre Devil's Food Cake. You know, men have killed for less than this, and you can earn it just by working in class.
How many Whitman dollars does it cost?
Goes to the highest bidder.
So the one with the most money has the best chance.
And there are other baked goodies, too. Like the famous Alice Johnson donut.
I didn't know you made such great donuts. I don't. I bought them at the bakery.
All right. Who's going to be the first one to earn their Whitman dollars? Bob, turn to page 22.
Would you tell Pete to see me in my office after class, please?
I will.
But why money, Pete?
Because I wanted to reach him.
Yes, well, couldn't you have used something a little less controversial?
For example?
Well, for example, grades, like we've been using for the last 100 years.
Grades don't mean anything to these kids. All they hear is get enough A's and B's and you'll go to college. Not one of these kids has any intention of going to college. The only thing they understand is what's happening to them right now.
So you're using psychological conditioning. Do the job, ring the bell, get the reward.
Exactly. But instead of using grades, I'm substituting a reward they'll appreciate.
But don't you see, Pete, that's what bothers me about this thing. I mean, let's face it, you're bribing the kids to do their work.
Well, I prefer to think of it as motivation.
But the motivation is materialism. I mean, after a while, they won't want to do anything unless it's for money.
I'm not teaching them to be materialistic. I am teaching them how to use it so they can educate themselves.
Yes, but you're emphasizing money. I mean, if we're going to emphasize money, why don't we just start a course in hustling and loan sharking?
Hey, that's not a bad idea.
That's not a... Pete, that's a horrible idea.
The kids can learn to make money with their money. Oh, I don't mean hustling or loan sharking, but something legitimate like real estate or the stock market.
Wait, hold it. Wait a minute. Real estate? I haven't even okayed the original proposal.
Is it okay?
Oh, boy, look, I'll be honest. My gut reaction is no. I've been on this diet so long, I don't trust my gut anymore. Okay. I'm willing to give it a try.
Thanks.
You know, we're going to be hearing from Mrs. Lund. She's threatened to take her complaint to the superintendent in charge of curriculum.
Anyway, thanks for the idea about the stock market.
Do me a favor, will you? Don't tell anybody where you got that great idea.
I wouldn't buy oil right now.
Can I talk to you for a minute?
Well, I'm pretty busy.
Well, it's very important. It's very important. Just take a second. He'll be right back. Listen, old buddy. What do you say we arrange a little loan?
What do you mean, old buddy? You were always making fun of me.
What did I know? I couldn't even read.
Mr. Dixon.
Oh, Mrs. Lund.
Mr. Dixon, I'd like to sit in on your class and observe. Would you mind?
No, not at all. Take a seat anywhere.
Thank you.
We're going to have a stock market buy and sell period. Mrs. Lund, some of the students have studied 10 companies. They've bought shares. Now they're going to trade the stocks back and forth among themselves. All right? Who made the most Walt Whitman dollars yesterday?
I made 170.
I made 220.
I made 290.
Anybody make more than that? How'd you do it, Michael?
I bought technical research and it went up.
Why'd you buy it?
Well, I read in the newspaper where they discovered a new process for water purification.
Now we'll have a 10-minute stock market session. Who's got something to sell? Bob.
I got 20 shares of United Computer.
Okay, what are the bids?
$50.
52.
5,208.
Why does Pete need 5 cakes?
Because the kids earned a lot more money than we expected. Besides, you can't have them paying more than a couple thousand Whitman dollars for a cake.
Why doesn't he just tell them it's inflation?
He can't. He's got a lot more sympathy for the government now. It's kind of hard to stop issuing money once you get started.
Oh, no.
What's the matter?
The Ingerfood cake fell. I'm sorry.
It's all right. We'll make another one.
You know, I have absolutely no talent for cooking. I almost flunked my final exam in home economics.
Oh, yeah? How'd you do that?
Burned the salad. It's a little joke.
Cakes, money, that's what I've heard. Seymour, I don't like it.
Now, wait a minute. Aren't you jumping to conclusions just a little bit? I mean, you've only heard one side, right?
Now, wait a minute. I am a progressive man. I don't need to remind you that our school system was the first one in this state to introduce a course in sex education.
I know that.
This money program, it's just too unorthodox.
Well, how do you know you have... I'll tell you what. Look, the class is in session right now. Will you look at it?
It isn't necessary.
Mr. Ross, we've got to give our teachers a chance to innovate and develop new teaching methods. Now, we can't just stop them before we give them an opportunity to show what they can do. Can we?
Jerry West helped the Lakers defeat the Celtics 102 to 101 last night. West scored 38 points in leading the Lakers to their third win in a row.
It's very good, Tony. Very good.
Thanks. I owe you something.
What do you mean?
Well, remember when you first came into the class and you said you'd have me reading and I bet you wouldn't?
Yes.
Here's 10 Whitman dollars. I figure that squares us.
Okay, Tony. Well, I guess you're all ready to buy some cakes now. But before we begin, I want to say something. We've had a lot of fun in this class. First with real money, and then with the Whitman dollars. But the important thing is whether your reading has improved. And it has. Arlene, your last test showed an increase of up to a year in your reading level. Michael, you've improved enough so that you're ready to leave the class.
But I don't want to.
All of you have improved. Anywhere from several months to a year. Now, we all know that this has been an experiment and we may not be able to continue it. So let's be honest. The funny money and the cakes are kid stuff. You don't need them. You'll be paid plenty just to go to high school.
What do you mean?
$100,000. That's how much more the average high school graduate makes than the guy who doesn't go to school. That means that each year of school is worth $25,000 to you. So if the Whitman dollars got you excited, just picture the real thing crossing your palm. However, most of you have discovered that money is not the real reason to learn. It's exciting just to get involved, to find out more about people, places, about yourself. Well, reading and education lets you do that. And the money's just a bonus. Now, what do I hear for this beautiful McIntyre chocolate cake?
$300.
400.
500.
Hey, come on, give me the cake. Give me the cake.
Yeah, what's a meat?
Big piece for Jack here. He needs it.
Hey, man, watch your mouth. But make it big, Michael. Hey, I thought I was next. Give me the cake. How much you want? $20 Whitman. Come on, Michael.
You know, Seymour, I'd like to meet this Mr. Dixon.
Of course. Mr. Dixon? Mr. Ross, our superintendent in charge of curriculum.
My pleasure.
Nice to meet you. Tell me, Mr. Dixon, these figures you were quoting about the reading achievement, are they accurate?
Yes, they are.
Good. They must keep an eye on this.
You mean you like it?
Well, I didn't say that, but I am sufficiently impressed with what I saw to, let's just see how far it'll go.
It's good.
Fine.
Oh, would you like some cake?
As a matter of fact, I would, but I don't have any Whitman dollars to buy it.
You don't have any Whitman dollars? Well, would you like to read something for us?
I'd love to.
You two girls can bake me a cake anytime. I was so impressed that I'm considering recommending to the Board of Education that principals get cakes to inspire them.
I thought you were on a diet, Mr. Carter.
Oh, boy, don't remind me. I gained 3 pounds. Do you believe that? My doctor is an incompetent sadist.
Hey, not to change the subject, but isn't it amazing how well some of those kids did?
Yeah. Not only that, not only reading. Some of them showed a remarkable talent for making money on the stock market.
Is that right?
Yeah. See that kid over there? If he'd been using real money, he would have made over $1,000 this month.
Is that right? It's amazing. What's his name?
Michael.
Michael. I understand you're doing very well at investing in Mr. Dixon's class. It's very commendable.
Thank you.
In view of the current market situation, what looks good to you? Do you think computer stocks are oversold?
morning. Is this fine? Going up?
Yes.
Can we get upstairs? I've got a note from the principal.
You shouldn't, sir. If I let one person up, I should let everybody up.
Oh, yes, victim of my own joke. It was a joke.
Yes, sir.
Keep up the good work. I thought I was joking. Wasn't I joking?
Well, he's sort of the serious type.
You have him in any of your classes?
No. I've just seen him monitoring. I think he's on the track team.
Oh, yes, he's the captain of the team. Craig Jackson. He's a good boy. Dean's list. Straight ahead.
Hi there. You have to use the other stairs. Everyone.
Now, listen, man, my homeroom's right up there.
I'm sorry, other staircase.
Now, come on, Craig. It's no big deal.
Look, I didn't make up the rules. There's equipment up there.
All right, so what am I going to do? Steal a paintbrush?
Look, if I let you up, I gotta let everybody up.
No, you don't have to do that. All you have to do is maybe turn your back a little bit and tie your shoe or something.
Look, why don't you go the other way like
man,
everybody
what's it to
else?
you, huh?
Be so special.
Oh, no, not
All right, Craig.
Hi, Miss Johnson.
Well, what's going on?
Miss Johnson, nobody's supposed to go through here. They're painting.
I'm just trying to get to my room, that's all.
Well, can't he go up this way?
No, I was assigned here because of the painters.
There are no painters now.
Look, all I know is I was assigned to patrol here.
Yeah, but don't you think... You better go around.
Okay, sure. Carry on, Sergeant.
Mr. Kaufman? Oh, morning, Dan.
How'd you make out, Dan?
What'd the doc say?
What did he prescribe? Did the track team do better this year?
Well, that might not be a bad idea. No, it's hypertension. He said I have to give up all outside activities, track, anything that gets me excited, anything that I enjoy. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Dan.
For how long?
Oh, maybe just the rest of the season.
Oh.
Well, I have to find a temporary track coach. I'll appoint a volunteer, right? I think I know someone. A man of great energy, athletic experience, tremendous devotion to the kids, and with very little spare time.
Who do you think he has in mind?
Now, I'd like you all to take a look at this. It's neat, it's easy to read, and the margins are perfect. And all the references are indexed on the back. Oh, I can see Paul back there snickering. But uncluttered edges, sharp lines, high polish and neatness are just as important in a composition as they are in a hot rod. There you are, Craig. B+.
Thank you.
I'm sorry if I embarrassed you. Now, I gave 1 A, and the author got absolutely nothing for neatness. This is for humor, insight, and the way the thoughts are expressed. It's called How I Turned On to George Washington. Look, Brendan, would you come up here and read this for the class, please?
Yeah. Come on. Well, I can't read my own writing.
I can understand that, believe me. Come on.
How I Turned On to George Washington by me. It always seemed to me that Mount Rushmore didn't look like George Washington, but George Washington looked like Mount Rushmore. Kind of gray and cold and stony. Remember how in grammar school, every classroom had this same unfinished picture? G. Washington, father of country? And then there were all those paintings about the Revolution. 1776, that is. Well, enlisted men, like at Valley Forge, were always wrapped in rags and turning blue, while General Washington always seemed nice and cozy, like he had thermal underwear under his uniform.
Yes, Craig.
Miss Johnson, I don't think that's particularly funny. In fact, I think it's rather disrespectful.
I see. Well, why don't we let Brendan finish, okay?
But one day, I read a letter General Washington wrote to a young lieutenant who had gone AWOL to see his girl. The letter was compassionate, simple, and understanding. So I began to get with George Washington. And all of a sudden, bam, it hit me. I mean, he carried that revolution on his back. He commanded the loyalty of kids as idealistic as Lafayette and men as worldly as Franklin. Over. He was a man of unbelievable courage, a man of authority who really didn't want to be a king. George Washington, the father figure of his country. Come back, George. We need you. After all, how many presidents have you known who'd powder their hair and tie it in back with a ribbon?
Thank you, Brendan. Yes, Craig.
Yeah, well, what I wanted to say is, it was a humorous piece. I guess it was even well written, but I really do think it was disrespectful.
Oh, come on, I dug it.
I dug it.
Yeah.
Okay, hold it, please. Now, Craig, I don't think you can honestly say it put George Washington down. It makes him seem alive. Look, does anyone else agree with Craig?
No.
Wait, now, I see what Craig objects to. It is flippant. But the real value of the composition is in its content, and it would remain the same whether it were written in blank verse or in the underground press.
Hey.
1, 2, and halt. Okay, leg stretching. Let's go. Ready, begin. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2.
Greg is a natural leader. He's been more like an assistant coach than just the captain. You can lean on him whenever you need anything.
1, 2, and halt. Okay, everybody, laps. Come on, let's go.
Well, Craig, I guess this is it.
Yes, sir.
I know you're going to do your best for Mr. Dixon here, just as you did for me.
I will, sir.
Got a boy. Good luck, Pete. Oh.
He really dedicated himself.
Are the crowds in the stands ready?
What's going on?
The great Stampede! Don't do a Stampede, baby. Ho! Hey, ho! 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 Nice, baby. Now, 18 feet 6 inches.
Hey, we've only got 2 of those poles, sir. I'd better get it.
The greatest show on earth. Okay.
All right, I take the pole.
Let me use it just for a minute, huh?
Look, we've only got 2 of them, Brendan.
All right, look. It's school property. My mother pays taxes. I'm entitled to use it at least once.
No, only members of the team. Now, come on.
Okay, all right, fellas, knock it off.
Sir, can I test this piece of school property as a member of the student body in good standing?
He doesn't even know how to hold it, sir. He could kill himself.
You know this equipment is reserved for the team.
Well, that's not democratic.
Now, you could have come out for the team. Nobody stopped you.
Okay. I hereby wish to announce my candidacy for the WW High Track team. I'd like to audition for the pole vault.
Do you think you can vault that?
You the new track coach here?
That's right. For the rest of the season.
If I can clear that for you, you let me come out for the team?
Anybody can come out for the team.
What about the dress code?
We don't have a dress code here at Whitman.
The track team does.
Oh, if you mean that the fellas wear tracksuits in the school colors, we do. Does that bother you?
Well, what do you want to wear? Bell-bottoms and psychedelic shirts?
All right, man, you know what I'm talking about. Coach, Mr. Highland said that unless I cut my hair, I couldn't come out for the track team.
I didn't know that.
Sir, Mr. Highland said that neat appearance helps morale, and that a team needs good morale if it's to do its best.
Well, I don't think you fellas have to cut your hair if you don't want to.
But Mr. Highland said that a haircut is part of the uniform.
Well, I disagree. You fellas decide that for yourselves.
Great. Yeah. Now can I take a crack at that?
Go ahead.
Okay. Before I lose my confidence.
Man, that guy's gonna kill himself, the jerk.
Hey, hip, hop! Look at him. Hip, 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 hop!
Hey, come on, you guys. Quit horsing around. You're ruining the practice.
Hip, 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 hop!
Hey, Coach, let us show you this thing, man. Listen, we got these contests we're making up for the 1973 Mod Olympics. It's a test of speed, skill, endurance, and courtesy.
Out of sight. I'll be the finish.
Right.
Come on, man. Hey, don't skip. Whoa, whoa!
Okay, left. Everybody. I want to see the sprinters for practice starts.
Of course I don't want you to quit. You've worked too hard, and besides, you're captain of the team.
Am I?
You think the team is falling apart, that there's no discipline, and that it's my fault, right?
Now, come on, Mr. Dixon. It's gotten to be one big joke, you know that. Look, it wasn't like that with Mr. Highland. We worked. Now everybody's just clowning around.
Everybody meaning Brendan Michaels.
I just got all the rest of those sheep doing it.
Let me ask you something. In the 3 weeks since Mr. Highland had to give this up, are practice sessions longer or shorter? Are you doing fewer laps? You know, I keep a daily worksheet. And Craig, nobody's goofing off.
Look, I didn't actually say anybody was goofing off. It's just so disorganized. You can't have any pride.
Let's talk about Brendan Michaels. Isn't that what this is all about?
All right, he can pole vault.
Look, I know you don't like him and he doesn't like you. Maybe you both will just have to learn to live with that.
But what about his hair?
His hair. What about it?
Look, at least 5 other guys had to get theirs cut to be on the squad. Ed, Dave, Phil Dorfman. Look, it just isn't fair.
Well, now they can wear their hair any way they want to, okay?
Okay. But, you know, it's a funny thing, sir. I'll bet I try to obey the rules and do what's right as much as anybody else in this school, and maybe more. But I always seem to be the one that's picked out as being wrong. I mean, you do what you're told, and everybody, even your teachers, they laugh at you and call you paranoid.
You think that what Craig says is true? When I was in school, it was the opposite. A decent, clean-cut kid like Craig, hard-working, would have been one of the most popular kids in school. I hate to see him quit the team.
Well, you know, Brendan just don't seem to be able to cut it. Craig seems to feel that Brendan has turned the other members of the team against him.
Isn't that ridiculous, over hair and clothes and nonsense like that? Can't they see how unimportant that stuff is? If 2 kids that have that much in common can't exist on the same track team, wow, what kind of a chance do we have? Can't you make them understand that, Pete?
No. All I can do is try to get them to talk to each other. They'll have to learn how to understand on their own.
It's a good trip. Whew. You gotta try it, Coach. It's a blast.
No, thank you. I like to keep my feet on the ground.
Well, you gotta open up to new things.
Sure, we all do. Listen, I asked Craig to have a talk with you. Don't turn him off, okay?
He said he wants to quit. So let him quit. Why all this group therapy?
Well, I don't want him to quit.
Why, because he put in his time?
No. Because he works hard and he's an asset to the team.
You looking for the winning season, Coach? I mean, if you want to show up old hyper-tense Highland, I guess I can dig on that.
I'm not in competition with Mr. Highland. And there's nothing wrong with being on a winning team.
Wanting to win can get to be sick if you're not careful.
I'll be careful.
And you do it because it's a groove. You said that yourself.
Sure. Now, what about Craig?
If he talks to me, I'll talk to him.
Mr. Dixon said that that we ought to have a little talk.
Yeah, so I heard.
Don't exactly know what I'm supposed to say.
Oh, well, we're supposed to pat each other on the back, let bygones be bygones, and kiss and make up.
I don't think that's very funny.
Well, you don't think anything's funny.
No, I don't think everything is funny.
I think it's pretty funny. You said you were quitting, now you're trying to crawl back.
And I'm not crawling back. You know, since you've come on the team, it just isn't worth being on.
You think I've screwed up the team?
Yeah, that's right.
That the mighty Whitman poets might not get their fair share of victories this glorious season.
Yeah, that's right. You know, that's all you know how to do, isn't it? Tear things down. You know, people like you ruin everything that's good.
And people like you make me sick. And up, 2, 3, 4. There's only one way to see everything. Your way.
Not my way, the right way. You know, there's a right and a wrong way to do everything, and slobs like you don't know the difference.
You know what you are, man? A nut. There isn't one guy on the team doesn't think you're some sort of stupid, paranoid nut. Up, 2, 3, 4. Go on, man. Up, 2, 3, 4. Man, why don't you quit? Who cares? You want to know who? Nobody. Up, 2, 3, 4. Up, 2, 3, 4. Up, 2, 3, 4. Up, 2, 3, 4.
Come on, Brendan. Great, man, great. You did it! You did it! You did it! Hey, man. All right, way to go, man.
Hey, 5 more points. Coach, mark it down. How we doing?
We still got a chance. You guys with events to go, you hang nice and loose, okay? What happened to you?
I was warming up and the old hamstring went. It's not too serious, but I sure can't run.
Help him to the locker room.
Sorry, Mr. Dixon.
It's not your fault, Lee. Put some heat on it and I'll take a look at it later, okay?
That about kills our chances of winning the meet.
We still have another chance. All we need is the first in the 440-yard relay, and we might be able to squeeze in.
Not going to win with 3 men. With Luther out, we don't have another man to run.
Oh, yes, we do. Him.
He's really something, isn't he? I mean, no matter what, he just keeps cheering us on right to the bitter end. You can ask him to take Luther's spot?
No. You are.
We can win.
What?
We can win.
Yeah, that's what I thought you said.
Now look, man, it's not for me. Luther, Byron, all those other guys, they really want to win this one.
Yeah, they've sure been trying.
And well, look at Luther, man. He's down in the locker room with a pulled muscle.
You mean win one for the Gipper, huh?
What's that?
Oh, that's when the coach tells his team that the star halfback is in the hospital. You know, win one for the old Gipper. Sounds pretty rah-rah to me.
Yeah, okay. You got me. I guess I've been pretty Look, man, I'm sorry for what I said. It wasn't true. Anyway, it's not going to be any skin off my nose if we don't win this track meet. But I think we ought to do the best we can. That means all of us. So if you want to run, you got about 45 seconds to suit up. Huh? Come on, man, you can do it. Come on, skinhead. Come on, do it for Whitman. Be a hero. Come on. Come on, you hairless wonder. Run! Come on, man, run! Run! Hey, that's all right, man. It's all right. You had a great race.
It's okay. Come on, let's go sit down. Come on, rest.
Good morning, Brendan.
Good morning, Miss Johnson.
Excuse me, I have to get through.
I'm sorry, Miss Johnson, but there's a light fixture broken up there, and until it's replaced, I can't let anybody get through here.
Yeah, but my class is right at the top of the stairs. I don't want to go all the way around the building.
No exceptions, Miss Johnson.
Morning, Brendan. I just have to, I can't.
No, I'm sorry, Mr. Kaufman, but the law must be obeyed at the top if the rest of us are going to respect it.
Of course. Kind of a hippie to that.
Brendan, you a hall monitor?
That's right.
It's okay. You can let us through. We won't tell anybody.
Sorry, I can't let anybody get through here.
Now, buddy, look. Hey. Thanks for taking over for me. How'd you make out?
I just handled the job exactly the way you would have. I was hard-headed, unbending, stubborn. I probably made 100 enemies. The coach, the principal, teachers, kids.
Hey, Brendan.
What?
You can't go that way.
Oh, now, come on, Craig. After everything I've done for you...
No, I'm sorry. I can't show favoritism. You're gonna...
What? You can show favoritism. Don't you have to favorite anything? No, I didn't make no...
so that's the theme. A generation gap prom. A salute to mom and dad. Now, the guys who got the bread can rent those tuxedos. And the girls will wear those gowns. You know, those... I mean, you ever see Junior Miss on the Late Late Show? The one with the orchid on the wrist? Those kind. And see, my band will work up some of those really old far-out tunes like In the Mood and Chattanooga Choo Choo.
She's ready for Junior Miss.
Okay, now after the meeting...
Now, wait a minute. You elected Richie as your chairman, so let him talk.
Thank you, Mr. Dixon.
You're welcome.
After the meeting, all you committee heads choose up the people who you want to work with. Okay, so now we've got decorations. Anybody for decorations? Bobby Wallstone. 1 L, 2 L's.
Just one.
Entertainment. That's all right. I'll take entertainment. Okay, tickets. Who wants to take on the money? Bobby Wallstone.
1 L.
Thanks, Bernie. Okay, publicity. Bobby Wallstone.
Are you crazy? No.
Now, anything I left out?
Oh, just the same thing we forget every year. Clean up.
Oh, that's right. Anybody want to take on cleanup?
Well, I guess I could. Oh, no, Bobby, that's enough. Who hasn't volunteered for anything?
How about you, Bernie?
I have a test to study for tomorrow.
Oh, come on, Bernie.
All right, clean up for Bernie.
Thank you.
All right. Anybody who wants to be on the entertainment committee with me, come up here.
Decorations, tickets, and publicity over here.
Don't you think that Bobby Wallstone has taken on too much?
No, the more she does, the more she's able to do. I just think the kids take an unfair advantage of her good nature.
What would they do without Bobby?
I don't think she wants them to do without her.
Are you kidding? It's supposed to be a formal dance.
Well, what do you think this is?
Well, it doesn't look very formal to me.
You know, just look at this thing you're doing over here. It looks more like a funeral instead of a dance.
I don't care. I think it looks formal enough.
Yeah, next thing I know, you'll be inviting the moms and dads, too.
Miss
What's
Johnson,
the problem?
Miss Johnson, What's don't the you think problem? it's the biggest dance of the year and there should be some dignity?
Right. Dignity is important.
Dignity. We're supposed to have fun.
Yes, fun is important, too.
Well, I think you should choose my poster because I've been working on mine for hours. And she just throws something together in 10 minutes. Isn't that right, Miss Johnson?
Well, the time factor is important.
Well, I think it's the result that counts.
Well, after all, the result, you know, it is the result.
Well, which one do you choose?
Yes, which one?
Which one? Well, let's see. Well,
Why not choose them both?
Both?
I love them both. Look, Mom and Dad, we love you, but we have to be ourselves. Why can't we use them both?
Let's use them both. That's a good idea, Bobby. Both of them, okay?
Oh, that's neat. Oh, I really think that's neat.
Yeah, okay.
Well, no, we have to have them by tomorrow. Can you do that?
Well, sure. It only takes me 10 minutes, remember? 10, 15, 16, 17, 18. Howie, 12 sold, 3 returns, and $18 even.
Good. Oh. Do I hear the rustle and clink of legal tender?
Guess what, Mr. Kaufman? There's only 28 out of the whole class not going, and we're going to cut that in half.
The unfriendly 28. My heart goes out to him. You know, the principal's office gets 10%. Oh, by the way, I called downtown. If you can work it out with the custodian, you can keep the dance going till midnight.
Hey, wow. Come on, gang. Back to work. Enough of this.
Bobby? Bobby Wallstone. Oh, look, you gotta help me out.
What's the matter?
Freddie Ashton has the German measles and I have no drummer.
Oh, I think you found the one thing she can't do.
No, man, I know this guy over at Jefferson who plays really good, but he has no way of getting his drums over there the night of the dance. So I was wondering maybe if you knew someone with a pickup or even a station wagon.
Well, I'll tell you what. We'll borrow my father's wagon, and you and I'll go over and get him.
No. I'll be busy picking up my date and I won't have time.
Okay, I'll do it. Just tell me where to go.
Well, what about you?
Me?
Your date, he'll be picking you up, won't he?
Oh, don't worry. I'll be there. I promised Joyce Davidson I'd help her with refreshments.
You don't have no date?
Richie, later, huh? I mean, you can work out the details of picking up the drums at another time.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
Don't you think you're taking on a lot even for you?
I don't mind. I like to keep busy.
You know, you're one of the most well-liked girls in the school. But you don't have to do everything that everyone wants you to do for that to be so. I mean, you can do less, and people will still like you. Because of the person you are.
Person?
Mm-hmm.
But that's impossible. Somebody's got to be taking her.
I tell you, nobody's taking her.
Oh, but that's lousy. I mean, well, you know, she's doing everything. Somebody's got to take her.
Hey, Bernie, you got a date?
Oh, yeah, I'm taking Janie.
Hey, there goes Nancy Coles.
So what?
She just broke up with Dave Kane.
So?
So, David Kane.
Well, let's ask him.
Oh, cool.
Hey, that would be cooler. We could just, like, throw those two together.
I think I've got an idea.
Hey, what is it?
Cool it. Here comes Bobby.
Howdy.
Hi.
Hey.
Bobby, how many tickets you got left?
A few, but that's a few too many.
Well, David Kane is over there. Is he needing lunch?
Yeah, so what?
Well, I heard he hasn't bought any tickets yet.
You mean he's one of the unfriendly 28? Time to make it 27.
I'll go with you. Hey, Dave. Look here, babe. You know Bobby Watson?
Hi.
Hi. I hear you haven't got your ticket for the Generation Gap prom yet.
I'm not going.
But you got to. It's going to be great. Richie's band's playing, and they're going to be spelled by the 5 horsemen of the apocalypse. What do you say?
The same thing I said before.
All right, I'll tell you what. I'll leave a ticket right here, and if you don't change your mind, you can give it back to me anytime. Coming, Richie?
Later, huh? Gotta talk to
Okay.
Dave.
I don't have a pickup truck, if that's what you want to know.
No, man, I got a date for you.
What do you mean a date?
No, but this girl's real special. She's one of the most popular girls in school.
Yeah? Who?
And she's really nice, real smart, and has a terrific personality.
Who you got, Richie?
Her?
So what do you want me to do about it?
Convince David that he should take Bobby to the dance. He's still at lunch if you want to talk to him.
Richie, I'm a counselor, not a matchmaker.
Yeah, I know.
I just don't think I should stick my nose in where it doesn't belong.
Sure, but...
You understand?
Yeah. Only,
Only what?
It's about your nose.
What about it?
Couldn't you stick your nose in? Just a little bit.
You ganging up on me, Miss McIntyre?
No, I just thought if you knew what it meant to Bobby, you couldn't say no.
It sure would mean a lot to her, man.
Oh, come on, man. Besides, I don't have the money for the tux.
Not everybody's wearing them.
If you want a tux, cool, I'll dig up the bread.
Then all you have to do is buy the tickets.
I don't know.
Come on, man, what do you say?
You know, a lot of kids would love to be able to favor by a counselor.
Miss McIntyre, do you think you could rearrange my schedule so I only have to come to school on Tuesdays and Thursdays?
No, that I'd have to think about.
Then you'll take Bobby to the dance?
That I'll have to think about.
Now, it is true that Huey Long was born and raised in a log cabin, but his family wasn't poor. In fact, his father managed to send Huey and 5 other children to college. Now, yesterday, we spoke about the Louisiana of Huey Long's childhood and how corrupt the politics were at the time from the Louisiana Purchase up through the Reconstruction period. As a matter of fact, you could count on the fingers of one hand those major public servants that were honest. The others?
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Fine. How are you?
Not bad at all.
I decided to go to the dance.
Far out. You need an extra ticket?
No. I wondered if you'd like to go with me.
You want me?
Well, if you're free.
Well, wow. I'll have to think about it. I'm on the dance committee, you know, and I'm going to be kind of busy.
Right. You think about it.
Hey, thank you for thinking of me.
Yeah, sure. Well, I'll see you.
I'll see you.
Bobby, come right in.
Miss McIntyre, do you have a minute?
Sure. What is it?
David Kane asked me to go to the school dance with him.
Oh, really? I think that's wonderful.
Well, yes, but, I mean, do you think I should go? I've got a million things to do.
Well, do you think you should go?
Well, I never even knew he liked me.
So now you know. What's the real problem?
What if I mess it up?
Mess what up? What's there to mess up? David's a nice boy, you're a nice girl, so go and have a good time.
Well, I know I'm not very pretty. And I always try too hard. And I can't even dance very well.
Bobby, it's not what you do or what you look like that makes people respond to you. It's what you are. And what you happen to be is something very special and very lovely. I don't think David Kane could have made a better choice.
He just broke up with Nancy Cole. She's beautiful. Look at her. Look at me. Look at my hair. I thought, because you always look so together and you always look so pretty, I thought maybe you could help.
Oh, sure I will.
Thank you, Miss McIntyre.
Bobby, now remember, this is just one date. If something more comes of it, that's fine. If it doesn't, that's fine too. As I recall, David Kane is no great shakes as a dancer either.
David! David! Hi.
Hi. How are you?
I'm sorry I took so long getting back to you, but if your offer's still open, I'd like to take you up on it.
Well, look, I wouldn't want you to do anything you didn't want to do.
Oh, no. No, I want to go.
Well, great. Just great.
What time do you want me to be ready?
Oh, 8 o'clock?
I'll see you then. 8 o'clock.
Right. 8 o'clock. Wait, where do you live?
David, everybody in school says that you're going to be editor of the school newspaper. Well, I've read all your articles, and I think they're the most intelligent, mature, advanced.
Alice sent this over. You like it?
I love it, but don't you think it's cut a little low? For me, I mean.
What do you mean for you? You hold it. Now, with your hair like that, little green eyeshadow, some lashes, some pale peach lipstick, you can see it.
That's wild. You look nice.
You don't look so bad yourself.
That's swell. Now, if I could only breathe.
Details, details.
My father's modest but clean. The story of my life. Open it.
It's really pretty.
My mother works in a flower shop. And I got news for you. The car won't start.
What are we going to do?
benzene, but it shrunk in the car wash.
Yeah, you know those harsh detergents.
Johnson, the World War II swinger in me has become uncaged. Follow me.
I don't know. It seems rather old-fashioned to me.
Nice, huh?
Having a good time?
Yes, I am. Hey, I even had a speech prepared for you. You want to hear it?
You two? Listen to this. Richie tells me you're responsible for the decorations. I think they're among the most original, inventive,
Go on. Go on. Joyce, you need any help?
I thought we agreed this was the one time you would attend only to Bobby instead of everybody else.
Well, I thought Joyce might need some help. And while David was dancing with somebody else,
Well, he's not dancing with her now.
Hey, what happened? Do you disappear like that often?
only when I get thirsty.
Shall we? You know, Nancy and I broke it off because we didn't get along. Understand? May I? I yield, but ungraciously.
Having a good time? You really like him, huh?
I'm having a wonderful time.
Yeah, but I mean, you really like Dave.
I like a lot of people. I even like you.
It really worked out between you two. It figured
What figured?
that it would work. Great dance, huh?
What are you talking about?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
Bernie, I think you better tell me what's going on.
Well, it wasn't just me, you know. It was all of us. It was mostly Richie. Yeah, why don't you ask Rich?
Richie's playing. I'm asking you.
Hi.
Hi, Miss McIntyre.
You dance very well. Are you having a good time?
As a matter of fact, I am.
David? Will you get my wrap, please? I'd like to go home.
Why? What's the matter?
I don't feel very well. It's nothing to worry about.
Well, can I get you something?
No. I just think I'd like to go home.
okay? I'm sorry, man. She got onto it. I don't know how.
You told her?
I didn't tell her. She just figured it out.
You know your trouble? You think the rest of the world is as stupid as you are.
She's just left.
Look, Bernie told me what happened. I'm sorry. What can I say?
You don't have to say anything.
Bobby, don't blame the kids on the committee.
I don't blame them. How could you do it to me? How could you do it to yourself?
All right, it was a bummer when it started out. But I want you to know it's not a bummer now. I was having a good time.
I'm so glad for you.
In fact, I've never had a better time with a girl. I mean, you're fun. And you're nice. Come on back to the dance.
I can't go back there. Probably all those kids know about it.
Then let's have a pizza together.
Pizza?
A hot dog, anything, just don't go home.
They took up a collection?
Yeah, you should have seen the single-breasted job with the cummerbund I tried on. I look like Bill Haley in the Comets. Look, you don't have to go with me now. But expect to hear from me tomorrow, and the next day, and the day after that. So, do you want to have a pizza with me now or get bugged by a lot of phone calls?
As long as I don't have to have an anchovy.
I have never encountered a compulsory anchovy.
Not yet, maybe. But I hear they're forming a union.
Betty's the most talented girl in her design class. I mean, she could start as a buyer's assistant today. She's got the head for it, but she wants to learn the retailing business from the bottom. Oh, certainly. I understand. Oh, she'd be delighted. Tomorrow, 4 o'clock. Okay, thank you. Goodbye. I think I got Betty Emery a job. Now, all I have to do is nail down that bookstore job for Lois Pretiman. Then all I have left is Ann Klein and Rhonda Peters.
Wait a minute.
Oh, Pete, what can I do about Rhonda? She's so withdrawn, but she's really bright. I gotta figure something out.
Well, even though it's a late Friday afternoon, looks like you're going to be here the rest of the evening. So I better go. Guess I'll have to drive up to the mountains all by my little old self.
You know, I'm ready. I mean, can't you tell I was just sitting here waiting for somebody to come and take me away from all of this? I mean, we don't want people to start saying, what would we do without Liz?
No, we wouldn't.
Come to think of it, what would you do without Liz?